welcome to another lawnfawn video. Today we're introducing the brand new set Hang In There and this coordinating dies, so let's go ahead and check it out. First we have this absolutely adorable sloth. We have a little birthday party hat for him, some leaves that you can use to decorate the tree branch that the sloth is on in both open and solid. We have a cute little heart, and also some great sentiments. So we have happy birthday, and they're actually separate so you can stack them, or you could even put that belated in between them too. We have hang in there, and then we also have take it easy, sorry I'm slow, and then my favorite one, the hello, which just cracks me up. We also have an exclamation point to add to the ends of the phrases, and some parentheses that you can put around the sorry I'm slow or around the belated too. And next I'm going to be using my very favorite Copic markers to color in this cute little sloth. I'm laying down a light marker just to wet the paper so that it's going to be easier to blend. Now I'm taking my darkest right along there, and then I'll be able to blend it out into my medium a little bit easier since that paper started out wet. And I'm going to keep blending all of these colors in together, adding some shadow there towards the bottom of him and around his legs that are around the branch. Then for his face, I'm going to bring in that lightest color finally so that it kind of stands out from the rest of his body. And then next I'll be coloring the branch shading towards the bottom, which I think makes it look really cool and kind of three-dimensional. And I'll just blend that up into my lightest marker too. Now next I'm going to color the party hat in shades of yellow to red, which I think looks really cool. And then I'll be adding some color to my leaves. These are the coordinating dies for the set, which you can bend apart at the tabs or use your wire snips to separate them. Then I'm just going to take those dies and line them up with my stamped images, hold them in place with some low-tack tape, and then run it through my die cut machine so that I have a perfectly cut image, which is just so cute. And then here you can see the sloth with his little party hat and also decorating the tree branch with those leaves, which I think looks really, really cute too. Now next up I'm going to be using the leafy tree backdrop die, which came out for fall, but I love using it for spring too. So I'm going to cut that from some craft cardstock, and then I'm going to cut the little tree backing from some noble fir cardstock, and then some grass from cilantro and noble fir. So first I'm going to add a bunch of tape to the back of my tree and add the leaves to the tree. And then I'm going to be using my meadow border dies here. I really love that long grass. I think it looks really cool with the sloth. And I've cut them from two different colors, and then I'm going to layer them so that that lighter green is peeking out from behind. And I think that looks really cool and adds a ton of dimension. Now I'm going to start with ink blending. I'm going to tap my foam into my ink pad, start off and then onto the cardstock, and that's going to help me avoid any sharp edges. Now we're going to go in super fast motion, and I'm going to keep layering on my Peacock Feathers Distress ink until it's a nice bold turquoise. And as I start to layer that color on top, I want to see how it's looking with my scene. So I'm going to layer my little tree and grass over it, and then I'm realizing that I need to add a little bit more peacock feathers. I want more of a bolder sky with those nice bold greens for the grass. So I'm going to keep adding on my peacock feathers, and now I'm going to switch to tumbled glass, which is a lighter color to give it a gradient look to the sky. And so I'm making sure to blend that tumbled glass over the top edge of the peacock feathers and then into the white, and that's going to give it a nice seamless look. And so you can see how pretty it's looking. I just love it so much. So now that my little scene is all done, it's time to start some stamping. So I'm going to lay everything where it's going to be so that I know where to place my stamp, because later on this is all going to be with foam adhesive, but if I put the foam adhesive on before, it would be really hard to stamp my favorite hello sentiment. So I'm going to line that up in my MISTI and stamp that out. And then I can start to work on my scene. So I'm going to trim my grass down, and then I can adhere that to the bottom of the ink blended sky piece. I'm going to place everything where I think it needs to go, and then add foam adhesive to the back and layer that right on top of the card. Then the last thing I need to do is create a card base, 5.5 by 4.25, and I can lay that right on top. And I just love this card. It's super cute and really easy to do. It could be even easier to mass produce if you use the watercolor wishes paper for the sky instead of ink blending, and then you could make a ton of them, which would be really awesome. Next up, I'm going to be recreating a card by Jess. I'm using my largest dotted rectangle to cut some perfectly flat rainbow paper, and then I'm going to trim down a piece of mermaid cardstock for my sky. Next, I'm stamping the leaves from the set onto some watercolor wishes paper, and this is a really cool way to kind of color in your stamp sets without actually having to color them. We can paper piece them. Now here is the balloon from Party Balloons, and I cut it out of all 5 colors from the watercolor wishes, and then I'm also going to cut a fancy folded banner and 2 clouds too. Now I want to stamp my sentiment curved on this banner, so I have my trusty piece of acetate. I'm going to curve the stamp on top of that acetate, which will hold it in position as I pick it up with my block, and then I can stamp it in the perfect curved position on the banner. Next, I'm going to fold along the score lines that the fancy folded banner die created for me. So I'm going to create a Z shape by folding back and then folding forward, and that makes this cool 3-dimensional banner. Next, I'm going to start layering all my balloons, and my back layer is going to be all with tape runner, and then my front layer with foam adhesive just to give that cool dimension for the scene. And then I'm going to be using the string from Party Balloons. I'm going to cut it from some black cardstock, and that is going to be my string. But I don't want that curlicue on the bottom, so I'm just going to trim those right off so I have a nice straight piece. And then I can start layering those right behind the balloons to create all of these strings that are going to be holding the sloth up in the air. So I'm going to layer those all on. And then I can put some foam tape behind my cute little sloth and have him hanging there by the balloons in the sky. Now for some final decoration, I'm going to take those leaves that we cut earlier and layer those all along his tree branch. And then I can put some tape runner on those 2 banner ends of the fancy folded banner, and that's going to hold that in place and make it nice and 3-dimensional on the card. And then I'm going to add some clouds into the sky from Simple Puffy Clouds just to give it more of a sky look. And then for some cool dimension, I'm just going to draw some white gel pen lines on those balloons. And now I can start to layer everything together. So I've got my 5.5 by 4.25 inch card base and my cute little pattern paper. And then I'm going to use a black marker to connect those lines to the sloth so it really looks like those balloon lines are holding him up. And I just love this. It's just so cute. That sloth just makes me smile. It's so adorable. And then here is the look at the 2 different cards. I love that it's 2 totally different looks, but they're both just way too cute. Now I wanted to show you some cards from the design team, and first up we have this amazing card by Yainea. I love how she cut a hole in the front of her card so you can see the sloth through it, but then when you open it, there's this amazing scene. I think this is such a cool idea, not only for this stamp set, but it could work for a lot of other stamp sets too, so I can't wait to try it. Then we have this adorable happy birthday card by Shari. I love that she used colored pencils on the sloth. I love how Elise combined this set with Critters Down Under. It's a perfect match. Stripy backdrop in black and white looks so cool on Elena's card. I love how Letitia colored the sloth in pink. I think that's just adorable. And then this card by Lizzie is so beautiful. I love the ink blending that she did. Then this scene here is so great by Lynette. I love her background with the watercolor wishes paper. And then this card by Nicole is just beautiful. I love that circle and the cool splattered grass. So I cannot wait to see what you guys do with this stamp set, so make sure to share it with us. Thank you so much for watching and have an absolutely amazing day. Bye!